Dear listeners, today I am going to tell you the most important thing of your life, that in your life always put God first. Society will try to tell you that success is about money, fame, and power. It will tell you that if you just have the right job, the right car, the right house, then you've made it. But I'm here to tell you that true success doesn't come from those things. True success comes from living a life that is aligned with God's purpose for you. We live in a world that constantly encourages us to seek validation from others. Social media, advertisements, and even our peers often make us feel like we need to be perfect, to always be on top, to always be striving for the next thing. But none of that matters in the grand scheme of things. What matters is the legacy you leave behind, the impact you make on others, the love you share, and the faith you hold on to through it all. Don't ever let the pressure to fit into someone else's mold cause you to lose sight of who you are and who you are called to be. The world may offer many distractions, but when you put God first, everything else falls into place. I can't tell you how many times I've been in situations where I didn't have the answers, where I didn't know how I was going to make it, but I prayed. I trusted. I believed that God had a plan for me even when I couldn't see it. And every time, without fail, God showed up. He opened doors for me that I couldn't have opened on my own. He guided me to people who helped me along the way, and He provided the strength and courage I needed to keep going. When you put God first, you don't have to chase after fame or material possessions. You don't have to worry about impressing others or living up to their expectations. You can rest in the knowledge that your purpose is bigger than what you see in front of you. Your life is a part of a much larger story, and the only thing that matters is whether you're living it in alignment with God's will. Now, I want to be clear about something. Putting God first doesn't mean your life will be easy. In fact, it may be more difficult than you expect. You'll face setbacks, disappointments, and challenges that will make you question your path. But the beauty of putting God first is that even in the midst of the struggles, you will never be alone. You will always have someone to lean on, someone to guide you, and someone to help you see beyond the immediate obstacles. The road to success is not a straight line. It's filled with twists and turns, ups and downs, and there will be times when you want to give up. But I encourage you to keep going, keep praying, keep trusting, keep believing. You are never too far gone, and it's never too late to turn your life around and start living in alignment with God's purpose. You are capable of so much more than you realize. You are equipped with the tools, the talent, and the strength to accomplish incredible things. But none of it will matter unless you put God first. You see, God's plan for your life is far greater than anything you could ever imagine. His love for you is immeasurable, and His wisdom is beyond understanding. When you surrender to His will and follow His lead, your life will be filled with purpose and peace that surpasses all understanding. In life, when you set out to accomplish your dreams, there's one thing you must always remember: everything you have, every blessing, and every opportunity comes from the source of all goodness. You didn't get here on your own. Every talent you possess, every door that opens is not just by your effort or merit, it's a gift that requires acknowledgement. Each day, as you rise and prepare to face the world, reflect on this: who do you honor first? Do you start by seeking direction from the one who gave you breath, or do you rush into the day, relying solely on yourself? Life is more than what you achieve, accumulate, or gain. It's about who you serve, and there's no greater service than honoring the Creator in all you do. When you put the highest power at the forefront of your life, everything else begins to fall into place. Challenges that seemed insurmountable become stepping stones, and victories that once felt impossible become milestones. It doesn't mean you won't face hardship, but you'll face it with a foundation that cannot be shaken. When your priorities are aligned, you can weather any storm because you're not leaning on your strength alone. Success is not measured by material wealth or accolades. It's measured by the peace in your heart, the integrity of your actions, and the legacy you leave. A life lived in service to something greater than yourself is a life well lived. When you give the first part of your time, your talent, and your treasure to that higher purpose, you're not losing anything, you're gaining clarity, purpose, and favor. Remember this as you climb: stay humble, stay grounded, never forget where you came from, and more importantly, never forget who brought you this far. Gratitude is more than words, it's a lifestyle. When you walk in gratitude and acknowledge the source of your blessings, you'll find that life becomes not just about achieving, but about giving, about serving, about living with a deeper sense of meaning. The world will tell you to chase success, to prioritize your ambitions above all else. But if you really want to live a life of abundance, you must shift your focus. Seek first what is eternal, and the rest will follow. Don't let the noise of the world distract you from what truly matters. At the end of the day, what you build on this earth won't follow you. What will endure is the impact you've made, the love you've shared, and the faith you've held. Make no mistake, you will be tested. There will be moments when it seems easier to lean on your understanding, to take shortcuts, or to forget your foundation. But those are the moments when you must hold fast to your commitment. Putting that higher purpose first isn't just something you do when it's convenient, it's a daily choice, a discipline, and a way of life. So as you step forward, don't let the applause or criticism of others determine your path. Keep your focus on what truly matters. The applause of the world is fleeting, but the reward of living a life of purpose and faith is eternal. Let every step, every decision, every word you speak, and every action you take reflect the principles you stand on. If you build your life on this foundation, you will not fail. Success may look different than what you imagine, but it will be real, lasting, and fulfilling. You'll be able to look back one day and say, I did my best, I stayed true, and I kept the faith. That is the ultimate success. In life, when you set out to accomplish your dreams, there's one truth you must always keep in mind: everything you have, every opportunity, and every blessing comes from the source of all goodness. You didn't get to where you are today by yourself. Your talent, your strength, the doors that open for you, all of it is a gift. Recognizing this truth is not about diminishing your effort, but about understanding that there is a greater hand guiding your journey. Each morning as you rise to face the world, take a moment to reflect. Who do you honor first? Do you start by seeking wisdom and direction from the one who gave you life, or do you rush into the day, relying solely on your own understanding? Life is more than a race to achieve, accumulate, or succeed. It's about living with intention and service to a higher purpose. When you put the Creator first, when you make that choice consciously and consistently, something profound happens. Everything else begins to align. This doesn't mean life will be free from challenges. Far from it. In fact, you may face even greater trials, but when your priorities are set, when you've built your life on a solid foundation, those challenges don't have the power to break you. Instead, they become opportunities for growth, lessons to strengthen your character, and reminders of who you rely on in the hardest moments. When you lean on your own strength, there's a limit to what you can endure. But when you draw from the infinite source of strength, there are no limits to what you can overcome. Putting God first means more than a fleeting thought or a once-in-a-while prayer. It's about living a lifestyle of gratitude, humility, and service. Gratitude isn't just something you express with your words, it's demonstrated through your actions. It's waking up each day and acknowledging, I wouldn't be here without him. It's choosing to live in a way that reflects that acknowledgement in how you treat others, how you make decisions, and how you use the gifts you've been given. Success, as the world defines it, often centers on wealth, status, or recognition. But true success is deeper. It's measured by the peace in your heart, the integrity of your actions, and the legacy you leave behind. A life lived with faith and purpose is a life that makes an impact. When you give the first part of your time, talent, and treasure to God, you're not losing anything. In fact, you're gaining everything that truly matters. You're gaining clarity, peace, and a sense of fulfillment that no worldly achievement can provide. The world will try to distract you. It will tell you to chase after fame, fortune, and the applause of others. But the applause of the world is fleeting, and the wealth it offers is temporary. What truly lasts is the love you've shared, the people you've helped, and the faith you've carried. At the end of your life, the material things won't matter. What will matter is the impact you made and the principles you stood on. As you climb higher in life, as you achieve your dreams and accomplish your goals, remember to stay humble. Don't let pride blind you to where your blessings come from. Stay grounded and don't forget who brought you this far. Gratitude is key to staying connected to your foundation, and that foundation must be built on faith, integrity, and service. These are the things that will sustain you when the world feels unstable and when the inevitable storms of life come your way. It's also important to remember that putting God first is a daily choice. It's not something you do only when life is easy or when you're in trouble and need help. It's a discipline, a commitment to align your life with a greater purpose every single day. Some days will be harder than others. You'll be tempted to take shortcuts, to lean on your own understanding, or to let fear or pride take over. But in those moments, remind yourself of this truth: you can trust God's plan even when you don't understand it. His timing is perfect and his vision is far greater than yours. Success built on faith isn't just about what you achieve, it's about who you become in the process. It's about living a life of integrity, of service to others, and of unwavering faith. It's about lifting others as you climb, using your blessings to bless others, and never forgetting that your purpose is tied to something bigger than yourself. When you live this way, you inspire others to do the same. Your life becomes a reflection of God's grace. And that's the kind of legacy that lasts forever. So as you step forward in your journey, don't let the noise of the world distract you. Don't let the opinions of others dictate your path. Keep your focus on what truly matters. Seek first the eternal, and everything else will fall into place. Build your life on a foundation of faith, and you will not fail. You may not achieve every goal you've set in the way you imagine, but you will live a life that is rich in purpose, peace, and fulfillment. When you put God first, you're not just setting yourself up for success in this life, you're investing in something eternal. You'll look back one day, knowing that you stayed true to your values, remained faithful through every trial, and lived a life of meaning and impact. That is the ultimate success. In every pursuit, whether it's achieving your dreams or overcoming life's challenges, there's a foundational truth that must guide you. Everything you are and everything you have is not solely the result of your own efforts. The opportunities you've been given, the talents you possess, and the moments of success you experience are gifts that come from a higher source. Recognizing this isn't about discounting the work you've done, but about understanding that you're part of a larger plan. Each day begins with a choice about where you direct your focus. Do you start by grounding yourself in gratitude and seeking guidance from the one who gave you life? Or do you rush into the demands of the day, relying only on instincts and strength? Life is not simply about the things we achieve, accumulate, or conquer. It's about the purpose we serve and the values we embody. When you place faith at the center of your life and put God first, you align yourself with something far greater than personal ambition. This alignment brings a sense of clarity and peace that transcends circumstances. So as you step out into the world today, remember that your success is not measured by how much you have, but by how much you give. It's not about how many people know your name, but about how many lives you touch. It's not about being perfect, but about walking with faith and knowing that even when things get tough, you're not alone. Put God first in everything you do, in your work, in your relationships, in your choices. When you do that, you'll find fulfillment beyond what you can ever dream of. There's no limit to what God can do through you if you trust Him. You're capable of greatness, but that greatness will be magnified when you walk with God every step of the way. I want you to think about the journey that brought you here. It wasn't just your hard work, your intelligence, or your drive. Yes, those things are important and they've played a role in your success, but there is a greater power that has helped you get to this point. From the moment you were born, from the very beginning, you were part of something much larger than yourself. God, in His grace, has guided you, protected you, and placed people and opportunities in your path. Whether you realize it or not, He has been working behind the scenes of your life. The thing about life is it's unpredictable. You can plan, you can work hard, and you can do everything right, but life often throws curveballs. There will be times when you face struggles that seem insurmountable. There will be times when you wonder how you're going to get through. You might even face moments of failure, disappointment, or loneliness. But I want you to remember that when you put God first, there is nothing that will shake you. No matter what challenges come your way, you will find the strength, the courage, and the wisdom to overcome them. I've lived through this myself. I've had my fair share of successes, but I've also faced my fair share of failures and setbacks. There were moments in my life where I didn't know if I would make it. I questioned myself, doubted my abilities, and at times felt like giving up. But in those moments, I learned that putting God first gave me a sense of peace and direction. It was not always an easy road, but trusting in God's plan gave me the strength to keep moving forward. Let me tell you something I've learned along the way. Life is not about the things you accumulate. It's not about the title on your business card, the amount of money in your bank account, or the status you have in the eyes of the world. Society tells you that success is about fame, wealth, and recognition. But the reality is that these things are fleeting. They will not last. When you put God first, you realize that true success comes from something deeper. It's about the legacy you leave behind. It's about the lives you touch, the relationships you build, and the love you give. These are the things that will endure long after you're gone. The world will try to tell you otherwise. It will encourage you to pursue fame, to climb the ladder of success, and to chase after the next big thing. But there's a catch. The pursuit of these worldly things often leads to emptiness. People chase fame, money, and recognition, only to find that it doesn't satisfy. It doesn't give you peace. It doesn't fill the hole in your heart. Only when you make God the center of your life do you discover that true fulfillment comes not from what you own, but from what you give. I'm sure many of you are looking ahead to the future, wondering what's next. You have dreams, ambitions, and goals. And those dreams are valid. I want you to chase them. Dream big. But as you do, never lose sight of the fact that God has a plan for you. And his plan is always bigger than the one you have for yourself. If you place him at the center of your life, if you trust in his wisdom and timing, you will see doors open in ways you never imagined. You will see opportunities unfold, not because of your own effort alone, but because God is guiding you. This is a principle I've seen in my own life. There were moments when I didn't know where my career was headed, when I didn't know what the next step was. I questioned whether I was on the right path, whether I was doing the right thing. But it was in those moments of uncertainty that I learned to lean on God. I prayed and I trusted. And every time, without fail, he led me to the next opportunity. He opened doors I couldn't open myself, connected me with people who would help me grow, and gave me the courage to take risks when I was scared. But I want you to understand that putting God first isn't just about your personal success. It's about serving others. It's about living with integrity and treating others with kindness, respect, and love. Too often in our society, people are driven by self-interest. They pursue their own goals, neglecting the people around them. But when you put God first, you realize that life is about serving others. It's about using the gifts and talents you've been given to make a positive impact on the world. One of the greatest gifts you can give to the world is your kindness. When you lead with compassion, when you treat others as you would want to be treated, when you serve others without expecting anything in return, that's when you truly live with purpose. That's when you embody the values that God has called you to live by. And when you do that, not only will your life be more meaningful, but the lives of those around you will be changed as well. Now, I know that life can be tough. The world will challenge you, and there will be moments when you feel like giving up. But I want you to remember this: God never gives you more than you can handle. There will be days when you question your path, when you feel overwhelmed, or when you wonder if you're good enough. In those moments, remember that God has equipped you with everything you need to succeed. You are not alone. And even when the road is difficult, he will carry you through. Remember that success is not a destination, but a journey. It's about how you walk through life, how you treat others, how you remain true to your values, and how you continue to trust in God's plan for you. Life will test you, but if you put God first, you will have the strength to persevere. As you leave here today, I want to challenge you. I challenge you to put God first in everything you do. In your career, in your relationships, in your decisions, every day, choose to trust in His plan, even when you don't understand it. Let Him guide you and let Him lead you to the places you are meant to be. And when life gets difficult, when things don't go as planned, remember that God is still in control. He has not forgotten you. You are capable of achieving great things. You have the talent, the intelligence, and the drive to make a difference in this world. But none of that will matter if you don't keep your eyes focused on the bigger picture. Keep your faith. Keep your trust in God. And know that as long as you put Him first, your life will be full of purpose, fulfillment, and peace. You have all the tools you need to succeed, but those tools are most powerful when you surrender to God's plan for your life. There will be moments when you will doubt yourself, when the road ahead will seem unclear, and when the weight of the world will feel heavy. But when you keep God at the center of your journey, He will lead you, strengthen you, and open doors you never thought possible. You were created for greatness, and the world is waiting for you to shine. Your unique gifts, your talents, and your heart are meant to make a difference. As you venture into this next chapter, remember that no matter what life throws your way, God will always be by your side. Trust Him. Keep Him first. And let Him guide you to a life full of purpose, joy, and fulfillment. To craft the most impactful conclusion for this speech in 2,000 words, I will expand on the core themes of faith, perseverance, gratitude, and service while weaving in additional examples, reflections, and calls to action. This extended conclusion will aim to leave a lasting impression, resonate deeply with the audience, and provide them with a meaningful message to carry forward. As you prepare to leave this place, stepping into a world filled with possibilities and challenges, I want to leave you with a message that will serve as a compass for your journey ahead. It's not just a message of encouragement, but a foundation, a way of living that can transform every aspect of your life. The foundation I'm speaking of is the simple yet profound act of putting God first. This principle isn't a fleeting idea or a suggestion, it's a timeless truth that has shaped the lives of countless individuals, including my own. Putting God first is about aligning your life with a higher purpose. It's about recognizing that no matter how talented, intelligent, or hardworking you are, there's a greater power at work in your life. God has been with you every step of the way, whether you realized it or not. He was there when you faced difficulties you thought you couldn't overcome. He was there when doors opened that seemed impossible to open. And He will continue to be there, guiding you, protecting you, and equipping you for the journey ahead. In a world that often celebrates self-reliance and independence, it's easy to forget the importance of faith. Society tells us to focus on ourselves, to take credit for our achievements, and to rely solely on our own abilities. But the truth is, our greatest accomplishments are not achieved alone. They're the result of God's grace, His guidance, and His blessings. Acknowledge that, and you'll find yourself not only succeeding, but thriving in ways that go beyond what the world defines as success. As you move forward, there will be moments when you're tempted to rely solely on your own strength. You may think, I've got this. I don't need anyone else. And while confidence is important, humility is even more vital. Putting God first means surrendering your ego and recognizing that you are part of something much greater than yourself. It's about seeking His wisdom in every decision, trusting His timing, and believing in His plan, even when it doesn't align with your own. Life is unpredictable, and no amount of planning can prepare you for every twist and turn. There will be times when you feel lost, unsure of your next step, or burdened by the weight of expectations. In those moments, putting God first will give you the clarity and peace you need. It's not about having all the answers, it's about trusting that God does. He sees the bigger picture. He knows what's ahead, and He's already made a way for you. Putting God first doesn't mean your life will be free of challenges. In fact, it might mean facing even greater challenges as you grow and step into your purpose. But what it does mean is that you will never face those challenges alone. God's presence in your life is a constant, unshakable source of strength. He will carry you through the storms, calm your fears, and give you the courage to keep moving forward. Consider this: what do you truly want your life to stand for? Is it wealth, recognition, and status? Or is it love, service, and impact? The things of this world are temporary. Money can be lost, fame can fade, and possessions can disappear. But the legacy you leave, the lives you touch, the kindness you show, the faith you live out, that's what endures. That's what truly matters. When you put God first, you begin to see the world differently. You see opportunities to serve rather than compete. You see people as souls to love rather than obstacles to overcome. You begin to measure success not by what you have, but by how much you've given. This shift in perspective changes everything. It brings a sense of fulfillment that no amount of money or fame can provide. It's important to remember that putting God first is a daily choice. It's not a one-time decision or something you do only when life gets tough. It's a way of living, a posture of your heart. Each day, take a moment to reflect, to pray, and to seek His guidance. Invite Him into your plans, your relationships, and your challenges. Let Him lead you, and you'll find that His path is always the best one, even when it's not the easiest. Gratitude is a vital part of putting God first. As you achieve your goals and experience success, never forget to thank the one who made it all possible. Gratitude keeps you grounded. It reminds you that every blessing, every opportunity, and every victory is a gift from God. And when you're grateful, you're more likely to use those blessings to bless others. That's another key to living a God-centered life, making a difference in the lives of those around you. There's a powerful truth I want you to hold on to. You were not created to walk this journey alone. God has placed people in your life, family, friends, mentors who are there to support you, encourage you, and hold you accountable. Lean on them. Cherish those relationships. And in turn, be that source of support and encouragement for others. When you put God first, your relationships are transformed. They become deeper, more meaningful, and rooted in love and mutual respect. As you navigate the world, remember that you are a light. You have the power to bring hope, joy, and love into every space you enter. But that light shines brightest when it's fueled by faith. When you live a life that honors God, people will notice. They'll see something different in you, something authentic, something inspiring. And through your example, you can lead others to discover the same peace and purpose you found. I want to emphasize that putting God first doesn't mean you have to have it all together. You don't have to be perfect, and you don't have to pretend to be. God meets you exactly where you are with all your flaws, doubts, and fears. He's not looking for perfection. He's looking for a willing heart. So don't be afraid to come to Him as you are. He will work through you, shaping you into the person you were created to be. As you reflect on your journey so far, take a moment to recognize how far you've come. Think about the challenges you've overcome, the lessons you've learned, and the growth you've experienced. None of it was by accident. Every step of the way, God was preparing you for this moment. And as you move forward, He will continue to prepare you for what's ahead. Putting God first is not just about your personal journey, it's about being part of something bigger. When you live a God-centered life, you become part of His plan to bring hope and love to the world. Your actions, no matter how small, have the power to create a ripple effect that touches countless lives. Whether it's through your career, your relationships, or your everyday interactions, you have the opportunity to make a difference. Before I close, I want to remind you that you are capable of achieving incredible things. The dreams you have, the goals you've set, they're all within reach. But remember, true success is not just about reaching those goals, it's about how you get there. It's about the character you build, the lives you impact, and the faith you live out along the way. So as you step into this next chapter, take this message with you: put God first. Let Him be the foundation of your life, the guide for your decisions, and the source of your strength. Trust in His plan, even when it doesn't make sense. Lean on His wisdom, especially in moments of uncertainty. And never forget that He loves you unconditionally and has a purpose for your life that is greater than anything you could imagine. Congratulations once again on this incredible achievement. The world is waiting for you, and I believe in the amazing things you will accomplish. Walk with faith, live with purpose, and let God lead the way. May He bless you abundantly in all that you do. Thank you, and may your journey ahead be filled with hope, joy, and unwavering trust in the one who created you. You see, life has a way of humbling you, doesn't it? It's unpredictable, chaotic, and sometimes downright unfair. You can be on top of the mountain one day, and by evening, you're down in the valley looking up, wondering how you got there. But through it all, through the storms, through the heartbreaks, through the sleepless nights, there's one constant, one force that holds it all together. And I've learned the hard way, the beautiful way, that that force is God. Now, some people might tell you can do it all on your own. They say you don't need anybody, just hustle, just grind, just believe in yourself. And I get that. Believing in yourself is important. But let me tell you something, self-belief will only take you so far. When you're up against challenges bigger than you, when life hits you with blows you didn't see coming, when the world turns its back on you, self-belief won't be enough. I'm not standing here telling you life is going to be easy because you trust Him. No, 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 that's not how it works. In fact, sometimes when you walk with God, the challenges get tougher. But here's the beauty of it with God: you don't face those challenges alone. There were times in my life, I'll be honest, I didn't know how I was going to make it. The weight was too heavy. The path wasn't clear. And in those moments, I prayed. Not the fancy kind of prayer, not the right words, perfect tone kind of prayer. No, I cried out. I said, God, I can't do this on my own. I need you. And do you know what happened? He showed up. Now, don't misunderstand me. God didn't snap his fingers and make all my problems disappear. That's not what he does. But what he did do, what he always does, was give me strength. Strength to keep going when I felt like giving up. Strength to stand tall when everything around me was falling apart. Strength to believe when doubt was screaming in my ear. You see, God doesn't just change your circumstances, he changes you. He gives you a new perspective. He teaches you to see the blessing in the battle. He reminds you that no matter how big the storm, he's bigger. I know some of you out there are carrying things right now that feel impossible to bear. You're walking through situations that have you questioning your purpose, your worth, your very existence. And I'm here to tell you, give it to God. Lay it at his feet. Trust that he has a plan for you, even when you can't see it. The world will tell you to measure your strength by how much you can handle on your own. But true strength isn't about carrying the load by yourself. It's about knowing when to let go and let God. It's about surrender. And don't confuse surrender with weakness. No, surrender takes courage. Surrender says, God, I trust you more than I trust myself. Surrender says, even if I don't understand, even if I can't see the way forward, I know you're leading me. Let me ask you this: how many times has God brought you through things you thought you'd never survive? How many times has he made a way out of no way? And if he did it before, why wouldn't he do it again? That's the kind of God we serve, a God who never leaves us, who never forsakes us. So, if you're tired, if you're weary, if you feel like the weight of the world is pressing down on your shoulders, remember this: God is your strength. He's not just your strength when things are good. He's your strength in the fire, in the storm, in the chaos. And when you trust him, when you lean on him, you'll find a peace that doesn't make sense to the world. A peace that says, I may not have all the answers, but I have faith in the one who does. You see, life has a funny way of testing you. It'll put you in situations that shake you, stretch you, and sometimes even break you. You wake up one day feeling unstoppable, like nothing can stand in your way. But by the end of that same day, you're questioning everything: your choices, your direction, your purpose. That's life. It's unpredictable, it's chaotic, and yes, it can be downright painful. But let me tell you something I've learned, something I carry with me every single day, no matter what life throws at you, no matter how high the mountain or how dark the valley. There's one thing that remains constant, one thing that gives you strength to keep going, and that's God. Now, I know some of you might be thinking, here we go, another speech about faith, but this isn't about religion. This isn't about checking boxes or following rituals. No, this is about a relationship with the creator of the universe, who loves you so deeply, so profoundly, that he refuses to leave you where you are. You see, the world will tell you to look within for strength. And don't get me wrong, self-belief is important. You need to believe in your abilities, your potential. But let me tell you, this self-belief has limits. There are battles in this life that are bigger than you. Storms that are stronger than anything you can handle on your own. And that's where God steps in. That's where his strength begins. There was a time in my life, I'll never forget it, when I thought I had everything figured out. I had plans, I had goals, and I was chasing them with everything I had. But then life hit me. And when I say it hit me, I mean it knocked me flat. The kind of hit that makes you question everything. The kind of hit that leaves you wondering if you'll ever get back up. In those moments, I did what so many of us do. I tried to fix it myself. I worked harder. I pushed through. I tried to carry the weight of the world on my own shoulders. And you know what happened? I broke. Because here's the truth, we're not meant to carry it all on our own. We're not designed to navigate this life by ourselves. That's why we have God. I remember one night I was at my breaking point. I didn't have the answers. I didn't have the strength. And for the first time in a long time, I fell to my knees. I said, God, I can't do this on my own. I need you. And in that moment, something changed. Not my circumstances, those were still there, but something inside of me. God didn't swoop in and take away all my problems. No, that's not how he works. But what he did do was give me strength. Strength to face the storm. Strength to keep moving forward. Strength to believe that even in the darkest moments, he was with me. You see, God doesn't promise us a life without challenges. He doesn't promise that we'll never face pain or loss or uncertainty. But what he does promise is that we'll never face those things alone. And let me tell you something, there's a difference between facing a battle by yourself and facing it with God. When you're with God, you're never outnumbered, no matter how big the challenge. Because the God who created the heavens and the earth, the God who spoke the stars into existence, that same God is fighting for you. And here's the thing about God's strength. It's not just physical. It's not just about having the energy to get through the day. It's deeper than that. God's strength is the kind that lifts your spirit when the weight of the world is pressing down on you. It's the kind that fills you with peace when everything around you is in chaos. It's the kind that gives you hope when you can't see the way forward. I know there are people in this room or listening to this who are carrying burdens right now that feel impossible to bear. You're walking through storms that feel like they'll never end. Maybe it's a loss. Maybe it's a relationship that's falling apart. Maybe it's the pressure to succeed, to provide, to be enough. And you're exhausted. Let me tell you this, you don't have to carry it alone. God is standing right there waiting for you to let him in. But here's the catch, trusting God requires surrender. And surrender isn't easy. The world teaches us to hold on, to stay in control, to fix it ourselves. But true strength isn't about holding on. True strength is about letting go. When you surrender to God, you're not giving up. You're not saying, I can't do this. No, you're saying, God, I trust you. I trust your plan, your timing, your wisdom. Surrender is an act of faith. It's saying, even if I don't understand, I believe you're working all things for my good.